Yo, 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 what is up out there, household? Yo, my name is Hypocrisy Jones. Let me open up this door to the household. Come on in. Don't mind that smell. Kick your shoes off, bro. We about to have a good time and a good conversation. I got myself, and I got my main man, Joshua Joseph, and we got a super special guest here if you're listening to us. We are live on Twitch. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. So if you're in there, drop in, give us a listen, join in on this conversation. Come on, household. But let me get to my super duper special guest. He is the conqueror, the champion of Destination 6 Wrestling, Sam Knight.
All right, first of all, I don't need all that introduction. You know, man, makes your man feel special. But if you're gonna say it, make sure you say it right. The greatest Destination Six champion ever.
My apologies.
Okay.
Ever.
Ever. Okay, great. Yeah, there it is. All right. I appreciate you all having me on, man. You and Voice, man. Appreciate you both. Uh, making this time for me.
Of course.
To kind of talk some things wrestling.
Of course.
Yeah, we're excited to
Sam
have
Knight
you.
says he needs time. I say how much?
Exactly.
I appreciate that.
That's definitely. So we want to talk a little Destination 6 wrestling. I know y'all have had like the craziest summer, whether they were from in your houses to the other events that you've had. Like it has been absolutely amazing. And through this all, man, you've stayed champion. You've stayed champion for almost a year long. You're on your tribal chief stuff, right?
It's not bragging or anything or tooting my own horn toot. It's been a year. It's been a year almost. Actually, October 21st. Yeah, you're right. Almost. But in my mind, I've been the greatest champion to ever live, who's ever held the belt at all. Ever. Before me, there was no Destination Six. That's my mindset. It has to be because that's what makes me the top of the food chain. But yes, we have had some huge events. One of the hugest ones we've had was the Gates of Hell pay-per-view that we had in July, and where I successfully defended and retained the Destination 6 Heavyweight Championship against set member Mr. Broadway. I did it by myself too.
You did it all by yourself. No help. You didn't have anybody else.
Yeah,
I know this.
No one showed up, and and speaking of no one showing up, Khan, I know somewhere you're listening. There's an issue. We've got some. You know what? I was wondering, man.
I can peacemake, right? Because I love you all. There's
no, he knows better.
Oh,
I mean, but Khan be conning and doing con things.
He knows better, but he can show up to the household, but he can't show up to defend his client, to be there for his client. Voice, what about you, man? You need a job?
I do, but I would never ever take a job away from my leader and director, Hollywood. I love you though, Sam Knight. I mean,
I'm not
if I can wear a
love,
mask.
I'm not feeling love from anybody.
If I can wear a mask and not be called the Voice, I'll do it.
So you're ashamed of me?
No, absolutely not. I know
it sounds like it's a lot of shame.
No, absolutely not. I'm just
terrified. I feel like you're ashamed too.
No, I would never be ashamed.
You brought me on this show to tell me that you both don't trust me and you don't want to be aligned with me. That kind of hurts my heart a little bit.
We would never say that, Sam. Look, you know that I will come by your side anytime you need me, anytime you call, because I've been there. I've been there for you, by your side. And I apologize. I wasn't there this last time. I really do apologize. But like life be lifing, and I didn't get the call.
I'm gonna give you a pass. I'm gonna give you. You know what? There was an invitation sent out, and I blame Khan.
You know what? You definitely right. You probably definitely right. Yeah.
He was so busy worrying about Aloysius Jenkins, Skipper, whatever he calls himself.
That was a good episode, though. If y'all want to check that out.
That was a great episode.
It was a very good episode. There were a lot of things that were said in that was fake news. Because Tim will never beat Sam Knight. Never beat Sam Knight. I don't care what anyone says.
Ever.
You know, Aloysius Skipper Jenkins, the 20th, he was saying all this stuff about Khan, about how Khan's not a great manager. And you know what? There are parts of that that I want to believe, but Khan's the greatest manager I've ever had. So Aloysius can shut his mouth. No disrespect to you, Hype, because you know you stepped in and filled in.
No, no,
But
no, no. I know. I'm not Hollywood. I'm not Hollywood. I'm
I had to
just a
put
little hype.
hey, look, it's Hype. You had me. But I do want to say this in Khan's absence. Uh, Khan, I'm in your house, so I'm looking for you. Stop hiding from me.
Oh
That's all I
man.
got. And I love you, Khan. I love you. We need to talk. But let's get into all things Destination Six, man. I mean, I'm sitting here going on a tangent. You know how that goes. I mean, champion stuff.
Sam
Absolutely.
Knight said that with his chest.
He did.
So watch
Whole
out,
chest,
House.
my whole
The
chest,
whole chest.
Whole chest.
my whole. I was small when I said it.
So let's get into Destination Six. What is
Yep.
what is the next pay per view or the next live event for
Live event.
Destination Six?
The next live event for Destination Six is October 21st. A Nightmare on Carroll Street, and it just happens to be our 1 year anniversary. And quick backstory of Destination Six. Destination Six is run by CC and Chris Impact. Um, they start out in Barstow, California. They are the principal owners, and the reason why Destination Six began is in memory of my late tag partner, Mr. Michael Impact. And uh, Mike's a lot of the reason why I became who I am. He brought me to the dance back in early 2005. Um, and actually, no, late 2005. Uh, we met each other. We started. Uh, he introduced me to the to Hybrid Championship Wrestling. Sorry, not Hybrid Championship Wrestling. It was Hybrid Pro Wrestling, HPW, out in um, Bellflower, California, and that place eventually became the Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy. So we have a lot of deep rooted memories. And so when Destination Six decided to move to Barstow, Cece called me and she said she wanted me to to spearhead it and lead the charge, and that's what I've done. Not just as the champion, but as the booker of the company. Hashtag Booker putting himself over. I'm gonna go ahead and say it before anybody else does. But no, honestly, it's been a ride, and it has been very beneficial for us. We went from being a company that no one knew in this area to one of the companies that people want to work for. And I pride myself and my team in making that happen. So uh, this upcoming show is a big one,
Absolutely.
and it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me.
Absolutely. So it definitely has been a roller coaster for you with Destination Six, because I think you haven't had a weak championship reign, if I can say so myself. You have put yourself up against the best of the best, like you said earlier, Kindle Fire and other top names. But what is one of the who is one of the, who has been your best challenger to date in your title reign so far?
Uh, every guy I've worked with has been A plus players. Eric Dillinger was my favorite match. Um, and that's for personal reasons. Dillinger was supposed to be my first match back when I came back from injury in 2021. Um, I'll say the wrestling gods had other plans, uh, so it didn't happen. But Eric Dillinger he accompanied me to my first match back. And I remember the road trip to the show, and I remember him and I discussing my nervousness, my fears, because I just came back from being off for 10 months. I didn't know if my knee could go anymore. And Dillinger looked at me and he told me, he was like, "You're Sam Knight. You're the reason a lot of guys do this. You're one of the reasons why I do this. You're one of the reasons why I am who I am. You're Sam Knight. Go do it." That was all it took. Boom, back on the horse. Uh, so when Dillinger showed up to my country, to Sam Knight's country, Destination Six, Macomb, Illinois, Dillinger found out firsthand that I'm not just Sam Knight, the Sam Knight of old. I'm a new creature. I'm a new beast. I am inevitable. I I am the Thanos of Destination Six, and he found that out quickly. So
Well, that's really cool because I love. I mean, I've seen Eric Dillinger multiple times, and um, I've spoke to him quite a few times too. And I can, with what you said, with his guidance towards you in your time of need, I can feel his words just by knowing the man, and I can understand how that will get you ready to go,
yeah,
Sam Knight.
yeah, and usually I'm known for being the guy that's full of, and I'm gonna reveal something about myself that I don't talk to people about. This is me speaking as out of character. Um, Usually I'm the guy that people come to for advice and for guidance, and but I deal with depression too. Um, we talk about mental health very, 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 very much in professional wrestling, and how mental health has been so shunned. It's been a topic that's been so shunned in professional wrestling because and even as I'll use this example, even as being uh, men uh, in professional wrestling. Uh, it's individuals in general. Let's not set it to one genre.
People, just
Individuals
people.
in general, people in general, because we're told that um, we're too strong to be depressed. That's not true. You know, the smallest things can make you depressed. You ever send that message out to a promoter? Hi, my name is, and you send it, and you know that this is the best written exhortation you've ever done. You send it in, they read it, they don't respond. Immediate, boom, depression. Like, yo, man, that's rejection, bro. Did you just ignore me? You feel me? So, uh, yeah, I dealt with that, and I dealt with it hardcore coming back from injury because I didn't know if I could go. There were only a few people who had reached out to me during that time, and so Dillinger being one of them, Khan being another. The voice you and I hadn't known, didn't really know each other yet. Belzy, you were there too. Making sure your boy was all good.
I had to.
But it was a hard time, and with Dillinger being there with me, my first match back, it was very, very important to me. So when the opportunity came for me to get Dillinger on a show, and I knew there was nobody else he was wrestling with me, I knew it was going to be Sam Knight. And when I tell you we went back and forth, that man put me through a table. That man hit me with chairs. He dove from the ring twice on me. He let kids beat me up. Like,
Oh God,
we had a great
not the
match.
children,
But the children, bro, the children was giving it to you, boy. You know what I'm saying?
not the
So,
children.
but we told a great story, and I'm grateful for the friendship and camaraderie and for the competitive nature that both myself and Dillinger share together. So
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
Dillinger is one of my favorites.
That is fantastic. Yo, I want to take just a second to shout out Dustin Flowers in the chat. He says Mad Bash Studios loves you all, and we definitely appreciate that, and we definitely appreciate all you in the household that are listening or watching later or just enjoying this in your house thing that we're doing. On behalf of myself, Hollywood House, in the voice, and the man Juice Incredible. We work really, really hard on this page to bring you real wrestling content and to bring you into to talk about real wrestling topics, just like my man Sam Knight was just talking about the mental health of men and people and just anyone in wrestling. It's not talked about enough, and I know that's something that Sam that he really, really puts an emphasis on. And I know this because I've seen it firsthand, whether he's talked to me or whether I've been in a pre-show summit, pre-show conference where we talked about health, mental health, and the things you have to do to not only be a wrestler or to be a person in the wrestling industry, but just to maintain, life, right? And to just be there, right? I know Sam is a real big advocate for that, and I love him for that. We love him for that. And I think this is a good opportunity to tell anybody out there in the household that, like, if you ever need anybody to talk to, make sure you find that person. I'm not saying come straight to us, because, you know, we may not be available like that, but you make sure you find your person to talk to. Make sure you find somebody to talk to. Make sure you talk out your stuff, because it's okay. It's really okay not to be okay.
Yeah, and with that said, we have a tendency of talking ourselves into believing that we're a bother, and I still fight with that, because that's a mental block. You're telling yourself you're a bother. I can't reach out to this person because I'm bothering them. I can't send this message out because I'm bothering. You're never a bother to me. Now, if I'm busy, I'm going to tell you, hey, you know what? Let me get back to you when I have a few minutes. And when I have that few minutes, I'm going to get back to you. But even if it's just a quick few words, and I will say something to you. I will do my best to help pull you out of that funk. And if I can't, just know I'm still here with you. This business is very it can be clicky, it can be very cutthroat, you know, and that's not just for the individuals that are in ring. That's for the announcers. That's for the podcasters. That's for the influencers. That's for the graphics guy. That's for the fans. That's for the referees. That's for everybody. The wrestling business is cutthroat.
Absolutely.
So any business is cutthroat. Let's talk entertainment. Being an actor, being a musician, being an artist, anything. It is cutthroat. Um, and the thing is, in business, we don't care about your personal feelings. I have to say that again. In business, we don't care about your personal feelings. What's our tagline? It's not personal. It's
It's
just
just
business.
business.
So allow me to pull myself out of the business role. This is me speaking as out of character. On a personal level, I do give a damn about you. On a personal level, I will do my best to sit with you and talk with you, be it before show, be it during a show. If you see me and I'm chilling with my headphones on, tap me on my leg, I'll pull them off. We'll talk. Like that's just how it works. You're not alone and you're not a bother. So I just want people to know that, because I would rather you still be here than for me to lose you because I didn't give you those words of wisdom.
Right.
Wow.
Dustin reiterated in the chat that he's never been in a locker room where Sam hasn't spoke up about mental health. So I mean, you are a damn good advocate, if I could say so myself, and you are
Thank you. Thank you.
definitely leading the charge in that, and knowing that it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to talk about it, and we love that for you.
Yeah.
So, voice,
Yes, sir.
what go ahead and what do you have for Sam Knight?
Okay. Well, honestly, I would just like to, if I can personally get into it with you, Sam, on this.
Yeah, sure.
So you have a title defense coming up. Am I
Mm-hmm.
correct in that?
Mm-hmm.
Is this different from any other title defense?
This one's the first time ever anywhere. I'm not at liberty to release the card just yet because I want everybody to
Understandable.
be surprised. But I will say this: um, I am going to be defending the Destination Six Heavyweight Championship against a man I've never faced before,
Oh,
against a man who I've never shared a locker room with before. But we have mutual respect for each other. I will also be defending the Destination Six Heavyweight Championship against this man in a match I've never competed in before. So October 21st is going to be a night of pure firsts. A lot of first time matches that have never happened at Destination Six. A lot of first time matches that have happened at Destination Six, but not in Macomb. And a lot of first time um, interactions, which is why I employ and not so much beg, but I urge you fans come to Destination Six on October 21st, a Nightmare on Carroll Street, and come see what we are getting ready to do. Because I can promise you, just as sure as I'm sitting here in this sweaty sweat box, is as sure as we're going to give you a show like you've never seen before. Why? Because I know that, because I'm the guy that's putting it together. So
Wow.
I can guarantee it's going to be a great show.
Well, can I continue on to that with you saying that this is going to be first for Sam Knight and for Destination Six and the town itself? With a man with your legacy, a man with your career, does that keep you fresh doing things that you haven't done before in the ring?
Uh, the thing about professional wrestling is you have to stay relevant. I'm almost
Okay,
18 years in. November 28th of this year will
that's
mark
incredible.
18 years that I have been a professional wrestler.
Incredible.
And it may have not been the strongest 18 years, but it's 18 years nonetheless. I had to reinvent who Sam Knight is to keep up with the times. From the new look to the way I work. I also had to work around an injury for so long, so
Hmm.
it was kind of like I had to evolve. You know, evolution. It's mystery. So I had to evolve. But I with the times and with changing who I am, man. I mean, I am. It's helping me. You know, I'm getting in there with younger stars. You know, guys who are in their early 20s, and here I am knocking at 40 in a couple of years. So it's kind of cool to be able to get in there with guys who, you know, this younger generation, and to I learned from them. You know, I never allow myself to think I know it all. I learn from them, and we learn from each other, which is what puts on, you know, banger matches, or puts on those great matches, because, you know, I'm going in there going, hey, what do you do? And they tell me what they do, and I tell them what I do if I haven't already researched them, because I still study. Tip for professional wrestlers coming up in the business now: it is best to study the person you're going to work with. I don't care how much you know about them. Go go look them up, because things change. Some people use different stuff, and if you don't know how to do it, or if you have never worked with that person and you think you just go out there and do it, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. So I beg you. This is where I beg. I beg you to do the research. When I have guys like Jake Chris and Elijah Berg look me square in my face and say, "Hey, I watched your matches just to know who you are and what you do," who am I to not do the same?
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's called being a student of the game. It's called learning the craft, because, you know, I can't go and bake a cake just because I think I know how to. I have to learn how to make a cake.
Very true.
And that doesn't just stop at culinary school. So let's flip it. I can't just go be a wrestler because I watched it on television. I have to learn how to be a professional wrestler. I have to learn about timing and cadence, and learn about ring awareness and ring placement. I have to learn how to protect the person I'm working with. So not just at wrestling school, I have to research. I beg you guys to do that for professional wrestlers at this time. I beg you to do that. So yeah. 17 and a half years, almost 18 years of me doing this, I am still learning, and I'm evolving. You know, when year 20 hits, uh, you know what I mean? At that point, I can go, hey, you know, I'm good. We had
Yeah,
fun. So,
yeah. Well, that's
Absolutely.
incredible. I mean, a guy with your veteran background, for you to be able to adapt and keep the Sam Knight conquering any place he steps foot into. Um, that's pretty unique for wrestlers in nowadays, in which you see in the mainstream and everything. But with that being said, does I'm noticing that your town itself, I mean, you're getting Destination Six is getting write-ups. It looks like you're doing photo shoots out there. How is the city itself receiving you guys?
Yeah, you're a man of the
uh,
people, right? Like
oh
Exactly.
man, listen,
we have all of
listen,
your
man.
we have your recent excursion out to Macomb, being with
Yeah.
the people, taking pictures with the belt. So, how's everybody receiving you?
um, it's a college town. My thinking is, at some point you were wrestling. At some point you watched. If I said the names Rock, Austin, Hogan, oh my God, I know them.
Hmm.
Cool. I got you. Come watch and see what we're doing. And that's pretty much what it was. We hit the town hard. Me and the owners and a few other people that I appreciate. The street team we had. Um, the shoemakers came out and they assisted us.
Love the
Um,
shoemakers.
Justice, the justice and his wife came out, and their kids came out. Chris and Cece and I, we hit the town. I mean, we hit the town hard. We're taking pictures at pet shops and or in front of the coffee shops and the TV station. Now the TV station's reaching back out to us to come out and to interview us or interview them because I'm pulling my stuff out the limelight. It's not about me because I'm still the big bad heel. Yeah.
Right.
Uh, but but being a man of the people means getting involved and finding out why they don't know about Destination Six and finding out why they don't want to come and give them a reason to. When I'm selling, I will use cake. I'm a foodie. I like food. If I'm baking a cake and I want to sell you that cake, I need to find out why you've never tasted the cake I've made before. And if you tell me I don't like cake, tell me why. Tell me why you don't like cake. But I promise you, this cake is different than anything you've ever had. I went and there's a video that's going to release here soon where I cut a promo standing in front of a mural of Macomb's huge sports background. And it's got their football team and it's got their basketball team and it's got all this stuff. And I stood in front of that mural and looked blankly into the camera and said, the only thing missing on here is the most important thing missing in this picture, and that's my face. This town is nothing without Sam Knight. And I did that in character. Not that I truly believe it, but this is what I did in character because I'm drawing the attention of the people around that makes them want to go, who is this dude? And we need to find out why he said what he said. That's tickets sold. That's money. You want to draw people. I want Destination 6 to be one of the biggest things to hit Macomb, Illinois. And right now, we are well on our way to doing that. I want the history of Destination 6 to surpass anything that it ever was before. Not because of me. Look at the array of talent that I have on that card. And that's just not just because of me. That's Chris, that's Cece, that's Sean who's helping, who's building to make the place look good. That's my talent team. That's my commentators. That's the people working the show, from the concessions to the referees, even to our fans. This is not a Sam Knight project. This is an us project.
Absolutely.
And that's how we become great.
Absolutely.
Working together, achieving a great goal.
Speaking of that, so Destination 6 has a roster of names like Shiloh Greaves, Sage Phillips, Oliver Kane, Mount Olympus, Mickey Midas, Jay Silva. How do you handle all of those different personalities at once? And I'm not just talking about Shiloh.
Because God knows that's a personality in its own right.
I've had an interaction, and needless to say,
I am very big on intermingling with people who remind me of me. And so a lot of the guys on the roster, I see a lot of me in, younger me to now me. And so the thing about being a great leader is knowing how to identify people's personalities and working to get them to work in their strengths. That's not just wrestling, that's life. So if I am your boss, I am not going to put you in a position that I know you can't thrive in. Look at how we've built our roster. Mount Olympus is my tag team. They're my tag team champions. I've got Logan Myers as my Midwest Express champion. I've got Mickey Midas as the Ultra Gen 6 champion. Myself as the heavyweight champion. And we're getting ready to crown a women's championship. I'm a women's champion in January. We have an array of talent. But I always make sure I work those guys and those people with their strengths. So that's how I put up with it. And Shiloh, Shiloh is my right-hand man. So it's him and Khan. Those are the guys I look at when we're backstage. Those are my guys. Because those are the guys that keep me level. Hype, when you were there, same thing. You guys are the guys that keep me level, which is why I had you step out with me always. Because it's like, this is my team. It ain't about me, it's us.
Right.
You feel me? I lead with that mentality. So
love that.
Wow, that's awesome.
Destination
Um,
Six is definitely like a family environment, and you can feel that almost when you walk in the door. If you've never been to Macomb, Illinois, you walk into basically it's a church of wrestling, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
an old church, but like it is now a church of wrestling, and you get that vibe. Whether you're coming in as you know someone who's new to the industry or you're a seasoned vet, like it is that family vibe. Everybody's helping everybody. Mama Cece's in the kitchen cooking. It is a whole experience. You got guys like Shiloh that's running and directing and making sure that times are good and everything is produced on a good level. Like I know you have the right team right there with you because they're all busting ass. They're all busting ass and they're all doing
It's,
every part of it.
and then I brought in another secret weapon here recently. So two, one has been there the whole time, and I want to speak on this individual because he doesn't get enough credit, and I have to say this because he's my brother. Chris Impact. Chris has been the man behind the editing and the music to the videos and putting out the great content, along with Khan assisting. He's been putting out all the shows to YouTube. He is the guy who takes those countless hours to make sure things are perfect. Not to mention he's the one recording the shows, so he's right in the center of it all. So big shout out to Chris who's putting it down, making shit happen. I appreciate him. Mom appreciates him, and I feel like he needs to get the credit he deserves. And my second secret weapon has been with me the last few shows. And this man he's no stranger to the Midwest. Damian Saint. Damian Saint has been my guy taking over production and leading the production charge with making sure times are set. Even where he even yelled at the referee during my match. He was like, yo, tell him to go home. And I'm like, I'm the booker. I do what I want. So, but
Don't put
but
Sam Knight in a
he
corner.
is so passionate. Don't you do it? Don't you do it? He's so passionate about the business that he wants it to be perfect. And when he's doing it, it's damn near perfect. So shout out to Damian Saint. I had to put those two gentlemen over. Um, my best friend Michael Harris, who is who will be debuting as one of our commentators here soon on this next show, I believe. And he is a hardworking man as well, man. This man has been my friend for almost over 20 years. And we are living our childhood dream out together. Um, and he is such a huge help for me, man. From helping out with recording and helping out to doing interviews. Like I think you and him were doing it together for a while, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I got mad
And
love for Michael, and
it
especially shout
just
him out for everything he's doing with Destination Six. But also, I want to shout out his Twitch channel. So,
his Twitch, yeah.
yeah,
Mike's out here doing it, man. And what people don't know is Mike was not always this outgoing, and sometimes he's still not. But he's I'm proud of him for what he's done in the time that I've known him. So shout out to Big Mike, man. You know, there's not a lot I need to really say about Khan. Khan is Khan, and that's heavy.
Con
That's
is
a loaded
con.
statement. Like Khan has been that driving force for a lot of us. Even me, he's that driving force. So yeah, I gotta put over Khan. And then I'm not gonna spend a lot of time doing this, but Mama Cece, man. What can I say about Mom without being emotional? That woman, she was there when I first started. She was my ride to wrestling training, and so um, everything everyone sees on screen, it's all kayfabe, but everyone knows, man. There ain't a time that you don't see that woman wrapping her arms around me. If you're at a Destination Six show,
Not wrong. Seeing it
it's
firsthand.
that it's that it's that embrace of thank you, or it's that embrace of I wish Mike was here to see this. So, um, you said it best. Destination Six is family, and we have our ups and we have our downs. At the end of the day, we're family, and I love those individuals. I love the people who've been right by my side, You know, Khan even brought his wife involved, and who's a sister to me, and I love her so much. Um, she has kept me level um, at shows, and she does her photography, and like, man, we've just had a list of great people, you know, past and present. You know, Hype, you know, the open invitations there for you at all times.
I would
Boys, you
definitely be
too.
back.
Uh, you know, because you know, I I I'm a firm believer in taking care of those who take care of you. Um, which brings me to my next point. Nightmare on Carroll Street is going to be a night that I want people to remember, and when they leave that building, they go, "That's one of the best wrestling shows I've seen." You know, I plan on turning the Macomb inside out, and one of the secrets to that is right before the Nightmare on Carroll Street show, I'll be walking around in gear around the town. They're doing a costume contest, so I'll be walking around town. And I'm going to send Shiloh to the bar up the street that has all the college kids. And Shiloh's going to be in gear. And we are going to hit that town and paint that town red so that at 6 o'clock when we go live, baby, when we
Live.
go live, we are going to have a packed house. That is my guarantee. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that happens. So, yeah, man, I'm excited.
I love
Excited.
that. I
Yeah,
absolutely love that. Nightmare on
I'm
Carroll Street is going to be a banger.
I fully believe what you're saying with having it as a packed house, and I mean, honestly, if I could just ask a real quick question for
Sure.
giving advice to anybody out there who is like trying to do their own promotion or working with a promotion. I noticed that you guys have West Side Lumber Ace Hardware as a sponsor.
Yeah.
Is
Shout
it?
out to them. Thank you so much.
Oh, no worries. My question to you, Sam, when you have a product like Destination 6 with all the great assets that you guys have brought to this one promotion to make it successful, is that your secret weapon going into seeking a sponsorship deal? Just showing what you guys have. I understand that the wrestling, the show itself is the main thing, but to me it seems like if I had a company and Sam Knight and Cece walked into my office and was like, "Hey, we have this." I just seeing the way you guys talk about it, the way you show your heart with the Destination 6, to me that would be the biggest business draw of it all. Am I off on this or?
No, no, no. So the way that I draw people, this is kind of what I did last week. The way that we get people to sponsor a professional wrestling company, because a lot of people look down on professional wrestling, or you know, is it MMA? That's the question people ask too. Um, but you sell them on what you can do for them, not what they can do for you.
Okay.
Reverse psychology.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
You already know I'm coming to you to ask you for money. I'm already coming to you asking you for money, or for you to at least put my black face right there in front of your establishment. Put me in front so people can see me. Because if you don't come or you don't pay in, somebody else will. And so, but when I address people, it's this is what we can offer you. Also, this is what we're doing for the community. Because it's hard to welcome a new buddy in if that new buddy doesn't have any intentions of helping everybody who's already there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How do you make friends? I can't bring Hype to my house and Hype sits there at my house and all my friends are there and I've introduced Hype to my buddies and Hype's like sub and that's it
That
because my buddies gonna
that's my social awkwardness, Sam. That is just
but
how I greet people. How you gonna call me out for that?
but hey, you know what, bro? I didn't even know my man. Anyways, but 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 when my buddies are like, if my buddies address him, he's not gonna be like, I'm not talking to him. Because when Hype first met me, he didn't know me. He knew Khan, and Khan had already bragged about me. Then we got to know each other, and now it's like this is my guy. Just like you, voice. Like we sat on, we did a podcast together, we talked and all that jazz. It was like we found out real quick, like, yo, that's my dog. So
Yeah.
you have to address people the way you want to be addressed as a business, as a person. You know, I walked into Domino's and it was crazy because I walked into Domino's and somebody was like, "Oh shit, Sam Knight." I went, "What?" And then when I
That's
started
awesome.
addressing the dude, I didn't address the dude as a fan. I addressed the dude as a person, like somebody I knew for a long period of time. And I was like, "Hey man, this is what we're wondering. We can put our flyers on your pizza box. Are you franchised or are you privately owned? We're privately owned. Even better. Can we do
Yes.
this? Sure. Bet. Okay. You have to have. Here's the thing: you don't walk into an establishment and not know what the establishment does. If you have no information about what the establishment does, you look stupid. Why would they want to give you money if you don't even know what they do?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the same way I am when I book shows. Don't come to me. This is the cheat code for anybody who wants to come talk to Sam Knight about getting booking Destination 6. If you are not privy to what the product is and what we do, don't ask. That's where research comes in handy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that seems to be the key. You've brought research up multiple times on this podcast, and that seems to be the key to Sam Knight's heart.
Yeah.
If you want to
Yo,
get in
bro,
there, you know.
show that you really give a damn about what we're doing, and then and then sell it to me why I should bring you into our fold. It's a
Yeah.
business transaction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think so. A key a key thing in this conversation has been educating yourself, teaching yourself. Always keep striving for more, and that I think that's like a Sam Knight motto of everything, right? Because I think those are some things that you're always pushing and pushing your kids, whether they be wrestling kids or real kids. Um, um, always being able to learn, right, and being receptive to learning and having that. Now I kind of want to switch gears here, the conversation here a little bit, because last weekend on our Sunday super chat with myself, Khan, we even had the pretty one himself, Paragon, my best friend,
Yeah.
on, and we talked about tribalism a little bit. And I really, really want to get your insights on tribalism. Paragon talked about some stories where people followed him from West Virginia all the way to Ohio because he beat somebody that they loved, or and things like that. And we've had all sorts of instances, especially in this last week, where people are being tribalistic when it comes to the world of wrestling, whether it be the mainstream or the indies or what have you. So, like, I'd like to get a little bit of Sam Knight's thoughts on that.
um. Honestly, I people are starting to take the fun out of it with doing this.
Hmm.
The battle of who's the better company. But let's be honest. Let's talk WCW versus WWF back in the day. You had those diehard fans who supported one company, supported the other, and they would fight over it. It literally turned into fights. You know, tell me that doesn't happen in sports.
It definitely does.
Let's talk about it. Okay, Detroit Pistons back in the day, they were they were the team that you did not want to fight,
Yup.
but you fought
Yep.
them. You
Hmm.
fought them. They were a fighting team. Remember, Michael Jordan was getting beat up by the Pistons, right?
Yeah, Bill Beer was
Let's
whooping
talk
his
Lakers.
ass.
Putting the pause on them, right?
Right.
Or let's talk the my favorite basketball team, the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. What? Come on, man! Like you had those diehard players and you had those diehard fans. I think people are losing the the main focus of why we do what we do. We are entertainers. Don't follow me to my house. Karma.
Hmm.
Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. I think I said this in the chat too. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. You know, remember this is entertainment. Just shut up and enjoy it. You have the right to your opinion, but when you start getting dumb, bro, that just shows me you don't have nothing else to be focused on. I mean, that's my opinion on it. Like, we are we are taking the fun of out of being a wrestling fan again.
So how do we fix this?
Um, Number one, it's got to start with the boys and the girls, the individuals of professional wrestling. We've got to stop being the main culprits. Ooh, I just said something that's gonna open up a can of worms. Oh,
You are you saying that we
we
create our
get
own
so we.
problems as
I said what I said.
oh
I said what I said. Oops.
ooh
Yeah.
Like, I mean, am I wrong?
you are not wrong. You are not wrong.
You got so many critics that's so focused on critiquing the pro wrestling world that ain't never had a tryout or even been considered for one. Can't get their gym life right. Can't get their meal plans right. Can't get on shows. But you want to be openly critical about how the big boys are making money for themselves. Hmm. Psychology wise, that math ain't mathing.
Mm.
Feel free to challenge me. Like if y'all don't agree, please feel free to challenge me because I am open to discussion about it. But my personal opinion is if we spent less time trying to critique professional wrestling as individuals involved in professional wrestling that's not making money off it, if we're not trying to do something to benefit the business, shut up.
I'm not gonna lie. So I have times where I have to look and I'm like, man, am I the problem in wrestling? Because I like to push buttons. I like to push people's buttons. I like to
Yeah.
I, to skim across lines that maybe I shouldn't be skimming across with the wrestling world. So I know that I am part of that problem because I like to test these waters. I like to tell AEW fans that like AEW doesn't know how to make stars because I don't think they do.
But that's your opinion. That's
Yes,
you're not
yes.
gonna fight. You're not fighting somebody over
No,
it,
no,
right?
no, no, no,
And
not
and not just that, not just that. You are contributing to the wrestling world with the podcast. You're contributing to the wrestling world with bringing more positive light to things, but you are also giving your opinion. I can give my opinion about how I feel about WWE. I can give my opinion about how I feel about AEW, but at the same time, I'm not making that the end all be all of what I talk about.
right,
And I don't get myself so emotionally wrapped in it to where I want to fight you because you don't share my opinion.
right.
But that's politics too. Another can of worms.
Oof.
It's political too.
You're not right. Look, politics is wrestling. Just and like the White House is just what a WrestleMania venue, right?
Brother, brother. It's like Mania, Rock Austin, or Triple H and Shawn at Madison Square Garden.
Yes, yes. It is that. It
That's
is
what it
that.
is. That's what it is. And when you can break it down like that, you're like, hold on, bro, what am I doing? My opinion really don't matter because they're not gonna change what they do because I said something.
Right,
Why am I fighting you over this?
right.
But we don't have that same mindset. Like, I mean, and like I said, I mean, I'm 18 years in. I used to be the same way. I go to school, like, yeah, man, y'all see the Rock? Rock went out there and beat up Stone Cold, and the Rock's blah, 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 blah. And go, Stone Cold's better. Well, fight me, bro. What? Wait a second.
What, dude?
We about to get suspended
Yeah.
over
While
people that don't even
Austin and
know
The
us.
Rock have a beer while
Right,
you guys are
Yeah.
fighting
right.
backstage
And
that you don't even see.
and we're getting suspended.
Yep.
I'm about to miss school because I punched you over the Rock in his flashy shirts.
So
What are we doing?
So what do we do in the cases? Okay, so over the last couple of years, we've had blurred line instances of real life drama bleeding into the wrestling scene, whether it be issues with CM Punk and the things that he said or tried to do within AEW, or even whether it be like guys like Mustafa Ali who had real problems with their booking for WWE and asked real life questions. Hey, can you fire me? Or hey, can you release me? How do we how do we um how do we battle those lines in that?
Um, so my mama from the South, okay? My mama used to tell me keep in-house stuff at home.
Absolutely.
If I got a problem, if she got a problem with me, the whole world ain't gonna know. Um, but we have gotten so used to looking for that amen corner. Uh, I'm a preach real quick. We look for somebody to agree with how we feel, so we start talking about it. Believe it or not, it's always been there.
Right.
Now people are drawing it to it's the woke era. No, no, no. Somebody just shined the light on me. Mustafa Ali, who is it bothered me to see him get released, which is why I promise you I am doing everything I can to get him booked. Um, because he's talented, and he was asking them, "Let me go," and nah, bruh, let me go. Nah, it was a toxic relationship.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like openly saying stuff to get fired, and they're like, "Nah, bruh." So when they put him somewhere where he began to thrive, oh my God, this sounds like a bad relationship. Things started to get better. He was starting to get treated right, so to speak. And then they were like, pull the plug, you're gone. The CM Punk situation, there are a bunch of emotions there. A lot of people get very sensitive about that. Punk is speaking from a generation of professional wrestling where we really didn't cry about stuff. We did what was in the order of things. But me, I try to serve as a bridge between the old school and the new school. And the old school vets, they want to believe that the way that we came up, me included, is the way it should be. The new school vets are like, F that. We have a new way of doing this, and wrestling has changed. So if you take the time to listen to everybody and you stand in the middle, you explain how the both parties can work together to make wrestling great again.
No, I love it. I mean, we I connect with everything you're saying because just like you and House or you and Jones brought up, wrestling, politics, one and the same. And just what you said with the old generation and the new generation, it's almost like if they could just get in a room and legit talk about, they could combine both of their mindsets and make wrestling, the landscape of wrestling, even better. I mean, you're going to have old and
So
new,
I'll
and
use this example.
amazing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll use this example. Remember the Attitude Era?
Yes.
Absolutely.
When the Attitude Era first popped up, was it accepted?
Well,
Not by
no.
everybody.
It
It
was
was too edgy.
Yeah.
way too edgy. It was the anti era of things,
It
disrespectful.
was safe. Remember the Undertaker with his cross crucifying
Hmm.
people?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember you know, I'll even use this example. This is one of me and Shiloh's favorite storylines. I'm gonna tap into this a little bit. When Vince McMahon came up with what was it, McMahonology or something like that, McMahonism,
McMahonisms. Yeah.
and and he said that him and Shane were gonna fight Sean and God at Backlash,
Yeah.
and he did the bright light. Me and Sean always crack jokes about it. The bright light that came down the ramp that said that this was God,
Yeah.
and Sean and God lost to the McMahons, I believe. I mean, see, your response is exactly what I'm talking about. It was so frowned upon by the religious community blew up. Man, they blew up. Oh my! I mean, what kind of sacrilege?
Well,
I mean, and I remember hearing it because I'm a church kid. You know, my dad was a preacher. And so I'm sitting there going, oh, I'm actually cheering for this. This is kind of cool.
Yeah,
Like,
this is cool.
this is cool. Like, they're breaking the prayer. And then, and Vince did the prayer in the Catholic Church, and he's like, hallelujah. Like,
you know, I ain't even mad at Vince for that because if dude didn't show up for his booking, you can't put him over.
I'm so done with it. But my point behind that is this. It's the same ideology. It's the same mindset. We can't get along because no one wants to understand the other person's point.
Right.
And we are too thick, we're too immature. I'll call it what it is, immature, to accept that maybe our point is not as right as we think.
Hmm. It's hard to
Remember the
accept that
spot
you're
with the
wrong.
Canadian destroyers? Bow, 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 bow. You kept seeing Canadian destroyer after destroyer, and there were so many people who had one opinion and had another, and I kept my mouth shut because I was always told if you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Right.
But but in my opinion, it works for today's wrestling for people who enjoy it and the people who are buying in because they're getting paid. But as an old school vet, I'm like, the suplex used to be a finisher move.
Yeah.
The DDT, boom, finisher.
That's the one.
Super kick.
That I'm sorry. It's the
No, go
DDT
ahead,
for
Oz.
me. It's the DDT for me. When that one became kick outable, I'm like, I don't.
Jake was putting people away.
Yes, everybody. You can't kick out of the DDT.
Gangrel, my trainer, was putting people in Paler. That's 1, 2, 3. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you hit these freaking tornado DDTs with the spike, and guys still kick out at one. Come on.
Now I'm gonna piggyback off of what Justice Shoemaker said in the chat. Shout out to him. He said NWGA, which is make wrestling great again, man. Make wrestling great again.
Make wrestling great again. And honestly, I think I want to get a shirt. For the, if we can do that for the in your house, in your house, making wrestling great again. Like, because in all honesty, that's really what we should be doing instead of feeding in, not saying us. I mean, as individuals who are involved in professional wrestling, we need to make wrestling great again. We need to be focused on how to evolve this generation of wrestling that we're in now to make it enjoyable for the next generation of people coming in, because there is so much drama, so much issue, so much backbiting, so much things that hold no freaking concern. We're so worried about getting ourselves over and being a great individual as a wrestler instead of being a great individual as a person to draw in more people to buy into what we do. We forget why we do this.
Wow.
It's for the people.
I know I'm preaching.
No,
keep preaching.
No, you keep doing it.
Like,
this is incredible.
We forget why we do this. We go out there and it's like, yeah, brother, I've got this move I do, right? And when I do it, I don't need you to kick out. Now, if you kick out, you're going to kill my character, brother. What? What the hell did you just say to me? So you want me to take this move and not... And then that's when the fight starts.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it's like, hey, brother, that finish doesn't work for me. Why? Because I'm not over. What the fuck? What did you just say to me? No, we've got to find out. We got to find better ways to build each other. Like, and if you watch me, man, I wrestled Gaston LaRue, and the way that we set that match up, it started with the interaction between CC and I that led to me getting slapped, that led to y'all helping me up, to me getting in her face. Gaston comes and makes the save, and what happened? Gaston bumped me around like a rag doll. Boom, 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 boom. And this is a guy that if you look at the size difference in a real fight, he may get some hits in, but I'm trying to sleep him.
Right.
But it worked, and it was on the fly, and it worked, and we worked, and it got the crowd behind it. And at the end, you made a star in a new company while the champion still looks strong.
Right.
What are we doing in professional wrestling right now? We're so worried about ourselves and so worried about getting our shit in as opposed to being worried about what they remember. God, my trainers drove this home to me for years. It's not about what you do, it's how you finish. It's how you finish it. I get passionate when I talk pro wrestling. It's how you finish. When I get on a roller coaster, clink, clink, we're starting out, click, 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 we go, boom, 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 boom. Twist and turn, and the finish is what you remember the most.
Love that. I love that.
It's not being taught. That's not being taught, and it's a forgotten art. We're making art. We are making people believe. In the words of Mark Vandy, we are making people believe in the make-believe, and we have worked ourselves so much to thinking that what we do
is real.
It's real.
Yeah. Oh my God. Big shout out to Daniel Fewell in the chat. He said make wrestling have stories again, which I think is what Sam was trying to say. There is we
Hey,
need to.
allow me to welcome you. Allow me to invite you to come check out Destination Six. I promise you, you'll see stories.
Yes,
I
yes, you
promise you
will.
that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no, you're definitely right, Daniel. You definitely need to make or get yourself over to Macomb, Illinois. Check out a D6 show. You will be the most impressed.
Yeah, I mean, they're both not lying about that, Daniel. Get out there, check them out, check out whatever Sam Knight's got out there. And let's do make wrestling great again because Sam, you brought up very well thought out points. Um, but the missing step, I believe, is how do we get that piece, the mindsets, like you're saying with a guy saying, you'll kill my character if you kick out of this finisher. Well, what if he kicks out of that finisher and you adapt your finisher a little more? So now you just gave your fans an extra bit of you, a variation to your finisher, and you got this guy over because now he's known as the guy who kicked out. Boom. Now you got a couple extra more autographs you're going to sign at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So I've got a few more minutes before I have to hop off here, but so I'll make this quick and then I'll answer a few more questions, and then I got to sign out of here. But hold on, I hope that wasn't rude. I was looking at
No,
time.
not at all. Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
But remember when using your finisher was the end all be all,
Yes.
and when you used it, it was usually 4 matches down the road. That's called building a program. Woo! Woo! Lost start. So you built this program, and then all of a sudden, oh, finisher, boom, cover, 1, 2. Oh shit, he kicked out. There's that wow factor.
Right.
I'm on the edge of my seat, and I'm invested because now you just when the Rock hit the rock bottom and went for the people's elbow, and somebody rolled out the way and he missed it. Is Rock going to get it again? Probably not. When Austin went for the stunner, you push him off, kick, Triple H for the pedigree, hits the pedigree, boom, can't make the cover immediately, can't make the cover. Think about that. I can't make the cover until a couple of seconds later, he drapes that one arm over. 1, 2, 2.25, 2.50, 2.75. Kick! He kicked out. That made me a fan again. That made me believe. And it made the person that kicked out a badass without taking anything away from the person who hit the finish.
Do you think that some of that comes with allowing a match to breathe,
Yes.
as opposed to being this fast-paced, gotta hit this, gotta hit that type of psychology that we've been.
I'll use this. Yeah, it has a lot to do with that. Kendall Fire and I, shout out to Kendall, who is a star in his own right, Broadway professional wrestling crossover.
Mr. Broadway.
He is a phenomenal individual, all around good dude. I love Kendall so much. Mr. Broadway and I had a Gates of Hell match where we used all these weapons and did all this stuff. I hit this man with 3 spears, and he kicked out of all 3 of them. Didn't hurt me, didn't bother me. In fact, he hit me with a spear and put me through a table in the open. Do you know how that match finished? And that match was called not just by me and Kendall, but we had help by P, Paragon. Shout out to P. The finish was I choked him out with a tire iron after I low blowed him.
Ooh.
Here's the psychology. Mr. Kendall Fire, Broadway. Mr. Broadway is a singer. Broadway singer. Singer. Emphasis on singer. If I crush his voice box, what happens?
He can't sing.
Can't sing.
You take his livelihood.
He took money out of his mouth.
Yeah.
So
He just had a baby.
choice. He had no choice to live to fight another day. Oh my God, did we just tell a story?
Yeah.
It's crazy how those things happen.
Did I give you goosebumps?
It did.
It did.
And it made
That
me
did.
think the Sam Knight character's mean. Why
Well,
would he do
It's like
that?
he's
Enzo had a baby.
methodical.
Why
He's
would
not
you-
mean. He's
why would you?
a thinking character.
Yes,
He is a man that knows his opponents. He knows their weaknesses. He knows, more importantly, their strengths.
Research,
Yes.
study, and me and Kendall and Paragon kind of put our heads together because we were trying to think of how we wanted to do it. And I was like, that makes sense. Tire iron, grab, crossface, hold, have it in his mouth first, slide it slowly down to his throat, lift his neck back, and I scream, tap, 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 you son of a bitch. If you don't tap, I will crush your vocal box. You will never sing again. The
Yes.
crowd,
Wow.
it was him, it was me, and it was a crowd moment. Make moments in professional wrestling. What's a moment you remember professional wrestling? You remember Shawn Michaels super kicking Marty Jannetty through the glass and throwing him through the glass. That was a moment. We remember, we just saw a replay of this. We remember when Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho faced each other at WrestleMania 19, and Jericho cried, and then he lowered his mentor. Sammy Guevara just did the same thing to Chris Jericho. If it can be reused again years later, it means it worked the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Stone Cold Steve Austin turned heel on The Rock? WrestleMania 17? Houston Astrodome? I remember. I'll never forget. Because it was one of the best video packages they'd done at that time.
Yes. Shout out Limp
That's true.
Biscuit.
I believe so. I believe it was Limp Bizkit.
And the thing is, what's crazy is we use that same song for me versus Kendall to do our video package. Everything that I did with Kendall, building him up to July, made Kendall look like he was going to take the heavyweight championship off me. Let's go to this. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns is when we found out what tribalism really was.
Everyone knew Cody was winning that match, right? Everybody.
We knew Cody was taking it. And then when Cody didn't, folks with Moggs was like, even me. It even worked me. Bro, I remember sitting in my bed going, bro, if Roman wins this, I might be a little hot. And then Roman won it. I went, oh, shit. And then Hunter comes on the press conference and says, the story's never finished. Woo! Okay,
Yeah.
Daddy Hunter.
Yeah.
You right. I don't know why I let y'all work me. For months, y'all worked me.
Love it. I love it. Yo, our chat is popping up right now. We got Daniel reiterating on the Make Wrestling have stories again. He says he's actually getting trained by Congo Kong out there. So shout out to our friend Congo Kong. He says Congo Kong is out there teaching things the right way, and we know that. We know that he is very.
Yeah,
we know that he is definitely teaching people how to go do things the right way. He also said, Sam, go for the throat. Johnny Wicked on the Twitch said he wants to know where he can find Destination 6 matches. He wants to see this Mr. Broadway versus Sam Knight match.
we are on YouTube, the Destination 6 YouTube. Go like, subscribe, do it all. Share it with your friends. Tell your mama and them. Tell them all. Tell them because Sam Knight said so. Shout out to Gino Rivera. Shout out to Gino Rivera. But Destination 6 on YouTube. You can watch the full show. It's called Gates of Hell. It's from July 15th of 2023. We burned it to the ground. Not just me and Kendall, but there were multiple matches on that show that burned it to the ground. So it was a great show. So you can catch us on there. And then we are looking to try to ink a deal with a streaming service. I'm not saying no names, but we are looking to do that so that we can go all over the country, all over the world. That's what we're working on. So
that's what we want. That's the goals, baby.
Yeah.
Keep aiming higher.
Yep.
We're going to get our own wrestlers docu-series, if nothing else.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Yeah. So, Sam, thank you for your time. I know you don't have a lot of it because you are a very, 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 very busy man. But I want to give you a second. Shout out whoever you need to shout out. Tell everybody where they can find you. Reiterate about Destination 6. Anything you want to do. The floor is yours.
Today I'm going to kind of take the non-selfish approach and won't put myself over. If you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook, Sam Knight, whatever. But I want to shout out my team, uh, this team, Voice, Hype, Con, Jushin, P, uh, Michael, Cece, Chris, Sean, everybody at Destination Six who has been um, my they've been my team. To the great talent we have. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you for everything y'all do. To our great fans here and abroad. Thank you. To my personal support system. I want to say this to my personal support system because I've never done this before. Thank you for being in my corner for as long as you've been. I know that it's hard. I know sometimes I can't be around. I know sometimes I cannot answer those phone calls, those text messages. I can't always be there. But I am grateful for each and every one of you who have stood by my side and not quit. I promise you, there's going to be some benefit that comes out of this. Until the day I die, I'm going to work to make sure there's some benefit that comes out of this. Um, and to the whole wrestling world, don't get lost in the sauce, man. Like, don't get lost in worrying about what somebody on TV is doing or how somebody's doing something better than you. Keep working, do your research, bust your butts, because I promise you, there's no substitute for hard work. That's all I got.
Love that.
Man,
Love that. What about you, Voice? What you got?
I just want to say I'm gonna take the Sam Knight approach and give this to Destination Six. Go out there, see them, watch what they're doing, consume their content, find what Sam Knight's doing. He's all over the place. You can find footage of him doing amazing things from here to there, from to everywhere. So, everybody, get out there, check out In Your House. We are putting in the work, like our director tells us, and we are going mighty strong. And there are so many things in our horizon, and we want the household to be there for every step of the way. We want we want to boost Sam Knight up, Paragon, Jushin, everybody. We want everybody to eat at the table here at In Your House, and household, we want you there too. So if you have anything out there, you want to hit us up, you got questions, you got things you want uh, going on in your life, and you're promoting, let us know. We're willing to be and grow this community together. So and thank you, Jones, for
Yeah.
just being my friend, homie.
Yo, I got you. Yo, my name is Hypocrisy Jones. We're about to skate out of there, but I want to piggyback off of what everybody just said here. First and foremost, I want everyone to go out if you can. Go to Destination 6, see A Nightmare on Carroll Street. It is October 21st in Macomb, Illinois. Check their Facebook out. Check their YouTube out. You know, send them some cash or send them some money, man. Whatever you do, bro. just do for Destination Six and do for independent wrestling, man. These
Yes.
dudes out here are working so hard, and a man like Sam Knight, man, he is trying so hard to not only build himself, build his promotion, but build the future generation of independent and professional wrestling. So we madly appreciate your time, Sam. You know you're
Yes.
always welcome here. This is basically your show. You can just tell us. And like I told you from the
Yep.
go, you say I need time, I'll tell you how much.
I mean, if I can, real quick, the address 136 West Carroll Street, Macomb, Illinois, 136 West Carroll Street. Macomb, Illinois, October 21st, A Nightmare on Carroll Street. I promise you, it's a night of first and a night you'll never forget. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I love you both. I love you all. God bless.
Yo, later. Yo, we're just gonna end it on that. My name is Hypocrisy Jones. My homie is the Voice, Joshua Joseph, and this has been this has been a little bit of time with myself and the Conqueror, the forever champion, Sam Knight. Later.